In Pit Lane is proudly brought to you by Dynotech by Dyno Dynamics. For your nearest workshop, visit our website. And with the support of the Ramada Resort, Phillip Island.
Oh, yes, welcome. I thought we were coming back in on the crane, and we're not. I was just preparing Kristian for the crane, and we didn't have the crane. I've been let down terribly, and so have you. I apologise for the enormous disappointment. Now, as I said, our guest tonight is Kristian Lindbom. He was one of Australia's top Formula 4 drivers, and as I said, he is now in the V8 Supercar Development Series, where he's the leading rookie, and he's in third place. Please welcome to In Pit Lane, Kristian Lindbom. Kristian, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, great to be here.
Now, are you surprised basically where you are? I mean, how many rounds? We've only had the one round, have we, or two rounds?
We've had 2 rounds now. It was last weekend at Barbagallo. Yeah. So that was a pretty exciting weekend. It was the first time I'd got to have a reverse grid race. Unfortunately, I drove terribly in that one, but it's a learning experience, I think.
What's Barbagallo like? I mean, it's probably one of the few tracks in Australia I haven't been to, but it looks really, really good on television.
It's an awesome track. Like, personally, I really like circuits that are undulating. It just adds a lot of character. There's a few bumps in there. I mean, I like a track with character, and that certainly has a lot of character. I mean, if they resurfaced it, it'd be like, 5 seconds faster or something ridiculous, just because it's got such a little amount of grip. But it has character, so it's really exciting to go. It's really small, and it means it's really competitive. It's really close. Qualifying was just separated by a few tenths between the top 15 cars.
I've often said that the development series often has a better spread of cars in terms of the closeness of it than the main game has. I mean, there's a lot more variety, and because you've got that mixture of people who are top drivers and up-and-comers like yourself, there's a lot to play for, and there's a lot of reputations to be earned. So the racing is really close.
Yeah, look, it's an interesting year. We've got the cars from last year. The main series cars are now our cars. I'm racing in Dave Reynolds' car from last year, and the thing came second at Bathurst, so there's a lot of expectation. But then, having said that, you're up against Craig Lowndes' 888 car. Jamie's isn't in there, but there's a lot of cars out there. You're up against like Casey Stoner, a double MotoGP world champion. So really, really competitive, really interesting, and for me, really great to be up the front.
I suppose when you mentioned Casey Stoner, I mean, the thing is with Casey, he's become sort of, dare I say it, the Danica Patrick of the development series. I mean, he's nowhere near as good looking, but the point is the media attention is all on Casey at the moment. For the rest of you guys who are running around, people like yourself and Ash and all the rest of them, how do you feel about that?
Look, I don't have a problem with it personally. Like, I'm under no illusion. I probably wouldn't have been racing this year if Casey Stoner wasn't in the category. He's brought so much to the category. The sponsors, especially Ozstaff, Urban Energy, and especially the team.
So they've sort of come on board those, because that was the thing. How do we afford the development? So that's really made a difference. Hasn't
Absolutely.
it?
I mean, we pushed so hard. I mean, you got to remember this is the first year team in V8 Supercars with Evans Motorsport, and we really pushed hard because we've got Casey Stoner, a double world champion. We want to be in it, and we want to be hopefully there to beat him, and fortunately it's going our way.
You mentioned with Evans Motorsport, the thing about it is the team has just grown incredibly. A few weeks ago we had Chelsea Angelo on, one of the Formula 4 drivers. You've got a number of Formula 4 drivers who will be in action like Chelsea this weekend out at Sandown. Do you have an involvement with those guys?
Yeah, I do. I'm the driver coach to the Formula 4 drivers, and it's a really good formula. It works out really well. We want to take guys from go-karts, and 2 of our 3 drivers have had a strong background in sprint karting, and that's the same background as I've had. So, I've got a little bit more experience in them, and I can give that to them, bring them up to the next level, and then hopefully they'll just slot into my position in the development series car.
So you must have been very rapt as a driver trainer. You must have been pretty rapt when Chelsea set the new lap record out at Phillip Island in her first time out. Okay, as we said when she was here, they have resurfaced the track, but still, it was one hell of an effort.
Yeah, look, and she drove really, really well that whole weekend. And our other driver, Thomas Randall, like he was also pretty awesome. And our third driver, we've also got Liam McAdam, and you know he had some really strong moments as well. Like all three of them, you look at them together, and you know, they're pretty sensational drivers, but they're at a learning stage. So you'll be seeing them in the future, hopefully in the development series or elsewhere.
Actually, like coming up this weekend at Sandown, it's going to be one of the highlights. It's going to be very, very hard to pick a winner in Formula Ford. When you go into somewhere like Sandown, there's a huge difference between Phillip Island and Sandown. I mean, Phillip Island is a major circuit that requires your attention. Sandown is sort of, in a way, less forgiving. I mean, you don't have those runoff areas. And Formula Fords and Sandown, we seldom ever get through without a safety car somewhere. What will you be telling your guys with Chelsea and Tom and all those guys on the weekend in terms of getting through a race at Sandown?
Oh, look, it's a new experience for all of them at Sandown. They've never raced there, so they'll be learning the track as well as learning how to race on it, and that's the most important part: how to race on that circuit, because it's virtually a dogfight. You can be half a second faster than someone, but you get a tow, and you can have them on your butt the whole way. So it's very important to have momentum. Very important to try to stay at the front at the right time. So I'll be coaching them along with Rick Kemp, our other driver coach.
So in terms of the development series, you guys have got quite a break coming up. When's your next race?
Next race is in Townsville, and that's in about 1.5 months' time.
Would you like to see more rounds? I mean, I think that's one of the weaknesses of the... I mean, I know they want to keep it affordable, but at the same time, it would be better for you guys, surely, if you had more chances to race over the course of the year.
Yeah, as a race driver, I'd love to be racing every weekend, but from the financial side, it doesn't always stack up. But yeah, certainly as a driver, I want to be out there every weekend.
Well, best of luck for the development series for the year. I mean, I take it that V8 supercars are the ultimate goal, I take it?
Yeah, it is now. Look, I wanted to be in Formula One as a kid and growing up, and that's what I was trained to be. And I got to drive in Europe and drive Formula 3 cars, what I've always wanted to do. But now's the time to look at V8 supercars. It's a fantastic series, and look at them going over to America now. I want to be there, and I'm going to have to win races this year to get there.
Well, it's good you've got that alternative, I suppose, to fulfil your dreams. I mean, I wanted to sleep with the Minogue sister, and I didn't get to do that either. So, Kristian, thanks for joining us at In Pit Lane. We'll see you out on the weekend at Sandown with all of your charges. And for now, as I said, thanks for joining us in Pit Lane.
Thanks a lot.
Now, next week on the program, I hope you'll join us, because next week on the program, our special guest live in the studio will be the new CEO of the Confederation of Australian Motorsport. He is Eugene Arocca. We caught up with Eugene when he took over the job, and we said, look, we'll leave it for a while. He was only in a couple of weeks. We'll find out what he's learnt since getting into the job and what directions the sport is going in. That's next week live here on In Pit Lane. But until we see you next time, as they say in Texas, y'all come back now. You hear?
Why should you get your car tuned with a Dynotech dyno? Your car will be more fuel efficient. An accurate tune means saving money at the pump. Your car is safe. It never has to leave the workshop to be tested. Increased performance, optimised fuel consumption and more power. Reduced emissions. Protect the environment by minimising your carbon footprint. To find your nearest Dynotech workshop, go to www.dyno.com.au. Dynotech by Dyno Dynamics.